Hey guys, just wanted to reach out again today. Missed a couple weeks of our quarantine. Done some live videos, but wanted to reach out this week and have a little change of scenery. Wanted to come outside, and I've been blessed with a family farm, and I'm the third generation on this farm, and it's growing up. It was some of the best memories I can recall in my childhood, is just being able to come out in the woods and listen to the animals and the little stream. I'm sitting in a little stream that runs off one of our ponds right now. I'll show you a little bit here. Just a little bitty spring that runs through. Kind of runs year round. Gets a little dry in the summertime, but it's just a little gully here, or a little holler is what we call it here. But it's a place where I just often come. I don't know how many times me and my buddies have walked up and down through these creeks and little springs, and a lot of good memories here. But it was always a place where I came to find some quiet time, or just walk and kind of talk to myself and work through times of struggle throughout my life. And I wanted to share it with you today, and I want to share this devotion with you today because I feel like it's very relatable in our time right now. But I know there's been times in my life where I felt lost and just didn't know what was coming next, and that's kind of where I'm leading for you today. Have you ever felt lost? Have you ever woken up and just didn't know which direction to go? And much like I said, nature's always been an escape area for me. I remember as a kid, my dad led me on a walk, and a few miles of walking through the woods, he stops and turns around and says, "Okay, it's your turn. Lead us back home." My dad was teaching me to pay attention on my journey. And as a kid, the simple hike through the woods turned into an amazing adventure back home. My enjoyment and carefree walk with Dad turned into a worry of every turn and a question to every choice in the direction I went. My drive simply turned into finding our way home and hoping to please my dad in the midst. But even with the pressure on, I still had this calm assurance in knowing that even if I completely bombed leading our way back home, my dad was there to save the day. I was reminded of this today, and it hits home pretty hard. So many times in life we seek to find our way home on our own, when our Father has already paved the way. The struggle comes from only seeking guidance when we're in the fire. We don't pay attention to God's guidance each and every day, and it can be a struggle to hear from God only when we need His help. So many times in life, I think I've got it figured out. I think I know what I'm going to do, and then I turn up. It didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. Being in tune with God in all times of life makes it a lot easier during a rough patch that we may face. Much like my dad leading me home through the woods, we would stop and have little conversations about when he was a kid, and he would tell a little story of him and his friends falling into a certain creek in the winter, or falling out of a certain tree, or swinging from vines. All these were landmarks for me to find my way home. Although this was a short one-day journey, we have an entire book, the Bible, of how to get our true home, or how to get to our true home in heaven. Treating the Bible as a storybook is a misinterpretation of its true meaning. Its intentions are teaching love and laying down a roadmap for each of us so we can find our way home. Rest assured, God's grace is abundant. And when we seek to find our own way in life and get lost, God will still be there. Just like I knew my dad knew the way home all along. But my true intentions of this devotion is to teach us all that we need to be seeking God in all things, not just when things aren't going the way we expect. Psalms 109 verse 105 says, "Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light for my path." In times of need, in times of praise, or in times of victory, we should seek God and know that all our blessings and life learned lessons are from God. We should be seeking to put a smile on God's face by paying attention to His guidance and allowing Him to lead us through life's journey. Reading the Bible is more than just knowing the story of Jesus, but allowing it to teach us about life and allowing the Holy Spirit to lead us through it. In closing, I hope that you find a way to become open to the Lord and allow Him to guide every turn of your life. Study the Bible like it's a roadmap for your way home. Allow God to work in all areas of your life, not just the sketchy parts. We're all going to go through troubled times and share moments of being lost, but just remember, God's already made a way. Be open with God and pay attention to the landmarks He has made for you. It's peaceful. It's just peaceful. Nature is peaceful. And anybody who doesn't have a chance to get out and enjoy nature, strive to go to a park and just sit somewhere where you can find some quiet time and just seek God. There's no better time than now. The world's in a crazy place, and I know from experience that I would have been in a lot better place going through my youth if I would have been more in tune with God. There's a lot of decisions that I made on my own growing up that I should have took more time to walk up and down this creek and think about the decisions I was making, or even seek God throughout these times. I was quite a bit older before I started following God. I always believed. I knew that there was no way that all this nature and all this beauty in this world could come from just nothing. I always believed in God, but I never obeyed any of His laws or never gave the chance for God to really love me. But let God be in your life. You won't regret it. Let God have a decision for you. Be open and be in tune for God, and just let God love on you. That's what He wants to do. I read a devotion here the other night, and it was pretty amazing to read it because it really opened up my eyes. We're not waiting on God. God's waiting on us. And when we allow God to rule over our life, your world's going to change. When we start living for God and start following by the Gospels and start spreading the Gospels and start making disciples, your life will change. And that's what I want to share with you today, is 100% dive in. Be devoted to God. Let Him make the decisions in your life. Let His Word be the light on your path. I love you guys. I hope this message finds you well. I hope you enjoy this message today. I hope you enjoyed the story, a little piece of my childhood. And just go find a place where you can be quiet. If you don't get a big rise out of being in the nature, go find some place where you are comfortable and seek God in those places. Seek God in everything. Love you guys. See ya.